Get ready to hear the remarkable journey of one of the most iconic and underrated players in NBA history. This isn't just a story about basketball. It's a tale of defying the odds, overcoming every challenge, and proving that greatness has nothing to do with size. Imagine stepping onto the court where towering Goliaths dominate, and you, standing at just 5 feet 3 inches, are expected to be overlooked, underestimated, and outmatched. But what if we told you that this player didn't just survive in the NBA, he thrived and played like David, leaving a legacy that few could have ever predicted? You've probably guessed it by now, but here's the real twist. This is the story of Muggsy Bogues, the shortest player to ever grace the hardwood, and, against all odds, one of the most electrifying talents to ever step onto an NBA court. His journey wasn't just a career, it was a revolution. Stay tuned because what you're about to hear will challenge everything you thought you knew about what it takes to be great. Born on January 9th, 1965 in Baltimore, Maryland, Tyrone Curtis Muggsy Bogues grew up in the Lafayette Court housing projects. Raised by his mother after his father went to prison, Muggsy's story is one of overcoming adversity. He attended Dunbar High School in Baltimore, where he played alongside future NBA stars like Reggie Lewis, Dave Wingate. It was clear even in high school that Muggsy had the potential to make it big. But the question everyone had was, could someone standing at just 5 feet 3 inches actually compete at the highest level of basketball? Muggsy went on to play college basketball at Wake Forest University. He was a standout player, averaging impressive numbers, and by the end of his college career, he was the ACC career leader in both assists and steals. In his senior year, he averaged 15 points, 10 assists, 4 rebounds, and 2.4 steals per game. But even after all those impressive stats, many were still skeptical if someone of his stature could make it in the NBA. Then came the 1987 NBA draft. It was a moment that would change the landscape of basketball. The Washington Bullets, now known as the Washington Wizards, selected Muggsy Bogues in the first round of the draft with the 12th overall pick. This was a huge milestone. Muggsy was about to become the shortest player to ever make it into the NBA. Standing at just 5 feet 3 inches and weighing around 140 pounds, Muggsy was immediately a talking point, and not just for his size. At the time, the NBA was filled with giants, towering athletes who dominated the game, and many people thought Muggsy wouldn't last long. However, he defied the odds. Although he started off slow, Muggsy began to show that he belonged in the league. His defensive skills, particularly his ability to steal the ball and disrupt opposing offenses, were second to none. He was an absolute pest to anyone trying to bring the ball up the court. His speed, quickness, and intelligence allowed him to be a disruptor in a league filled with towering players. One thing that became clear as Muggsy's career progressed was how much of a leader he was. Despite his size, he was the floor general, the player who dictated the tempo of the game. Former NBA players have spoken highly of Muggsy's leadership on the court. In fact, Muggsy had the basketball IQ to match his skills. He wasn't just a flashy player, but a smart, strategic one who could control the pace of a game. NBA legend Grant Hill, in particular, recalled how Muggsy's impact on the game was undeniable. Hill shared that whenever they played against Muggsy and the Charlotte Hornets, they had to be aware of where he was on the court at all times, because if they weren't, Muggsy could easily take the ball from them.
But there were times as a primary ball handler initiating the offense during my Detroit years, when we would play Charlotte, you always wanted to know where Muggsy was because I didn't want to have to put the ball on the floor at all with him on the court.
What really set Muggsy apart was his defense. When you're 5 feet 3 inches playing against guys who are 6 feet 5 inches or taller, you have to make up for your lack of height in other ways. And Muggsy did that with his relentless defense. One of the stories shared by players who faced Muggsy was how hard it was to get the ball past him. Even taller guards feared his ability to get into passing lanes, steal the ball, and disrupt plays. His defense was not only about steals, though. He was also incredibly pesky. Muggsy made life miserable for opponents by picking them up full court and forcing turnovers. It's said that the worst thing about playing against Muggsy was when you couldn't see him on the court, because that meant he was either about to steal the ball or get in your grill. Muggsy wasn't just a defender, though. He was an incredible playmaker. His ability to dish out assists was a key part of his game. As a point guard, he was known for his pinpoint passes, helping his teammates get easy buckets. It wasn't just about getting the assist, though. Muggsy was also a leader on the floor. He knew exactly when to push the pace, when to slow it down, and how to control the game. His intelligence and court vision were far beyond what many expected from a player of his size. In 1988, Muggsy was traded to the Charlotte Hornets, where he really started to flourish. He became the heart and soul of the team, leading them to several successful seasons. Muggsy's ability to lead his team, despite being so much smaller than his competitors, made him one of the most beloved players in Charlotte's history. The Hornets became a playoff team, and Muggsy was a key factor in their success. Muggsy's best season came in 1993-94 when he averaged 11 points, 10 assists, and 2 steals per game. This was the pinnacle of his career, a testament to how effective he was as a floor general and leader. Even though he never averaged 20 points per game or grabbed 10 rebounds, Muggsy was always a key contributor to his team's success. Eventually, Muggsy moved on to the Golden State Warriors in 1997, where he played for 2 years before being traded again to the Toronto Raptors in 1999. His time with the Raptors was another success, and Muggsy became a fan favorite once again. His impact in Toronto was felt both on and off the court, as he continued to inspire young players who looked up to him as proof that you don't need to be tall to succeed in the NBA. Muggsy Bogues retired in 2001, leaving behind an incredible legacy. Former players like Gary Payton, Magic Johnson, and others have all spoken highly of Muggsy, acknowledging that his impact on the game was undeniable. They share,
Despite his size, he never backed down from a challenge. He might not have been able to dunk or overpower players physically, but what Muggsy lacked in size, he more than made up for with his fierce competitiveness, his leadership, and his basketball IQ.
Muggsy Bogues' story is a reminder that greatness comes in all sizes. He may have been the shortest player to ever play in the NBA, but he proved that height doesn't define your success in the game of basketball. His career is an inspiration to anyone who has ever been told they're not big enough or good enough. Muggsy showed the world that with heart, intelligence, and hard work, anything is possible. In a world where height and athleticism are often seen as the defining traits of an NBA player, Muggsy Bogues shattered that notion. He proved that determination and skill can overcome any physical limitation. For young players today, Muggsy's legacy is a reminder that no matter your size, you can make a massive impact if you have the right mindset. Thanks for tuning in and taking a look at the incredible career of Muggsy Bogues. If you enjoyed this, be sure to subscribe, like the video, and share it with your friends. We'll see you next time for another deep dive into the legends of the NBA. And if you made it to the end, you're the real MVP. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss out. Check out more of our epic basketball content. Thanks for watching. Stay awesome, and I'll see you in the next one.